Hi everyone, welcome back to English Fab, where learning English is practical, useful, and fab. Understanding economic topics like inflation can be a real challenge, especially when there are so many unfamiliar words and concepts. Many learners find it hard to talk about money, prices, and financial trends in everyday English. That's why today's lesson is here to help. We're going to go through some essential vocabulary related to inflation and the economy. Following the structure from our English Fab website, you'll learn key terms, examples of goods and services affected, common economic actions, and how to describe inflation trends clearly and confidently. If you find English difficult, don't worry. You can translate the subtitles into English and your own language like this. Check the description below for extra details. Now, let's get started. Let's go over some essential vocabulary. 1. Key terms. Inflation. A general increase in prices over time, which reduces the value of money. Deflation. A general decrease in prices, often linked to reduced demand or economic slowdown. Hyperinflation. Extremely rapid and out-of-control price increases, usually caused by excessive money printing. Stagflation. A combination of inflation and stagnant economic growth, often with high unemployment. Consumer Price Index, CPI. A measure that tracks changes in the prices of commonly bought goods and services. Purchasing power. The value of money, or how much you can buy with it. Demand pull inflation. Inflation caused by increased consumer demand. Cost push inflation. Inflation caused by rising production costs, like wages or raw materials. Recession. A period of economic decline when business activity slows and unemployment rises. Boom. A time of fast economic growth, usually with high spending and job creation. Interest rate. The cost of borrowing money, or the return on savings. Economic growth. An increase in a country's production and income over time. Price stability. When prices stay relatively constant without large fluctuations. 2. Goods and services affected. Groceries. Everyday food and household items you buy at the store. Rent. The monthly payment to live in a house or apartment. Gasoline. Fuel for cars. A key expense for transportation. Electricity. Power used for lighting appliances and heating. Transportation. Public and private travel costs, like buses, trains, and taxis. Healthcare. Medical services, hospital visits, and medicine. Education. School, university, and other learning-related expenses. Clothes. Items you wear, from shirts to shoes. Furniture. Household items like tables, chairs, and beds. Meat. A common grocery item often affected by inflation. Eggs. A food staple that reflects changes in food prices. Bread. Another everyday food item that's often mentioned in price tracking. Water. A basic necessity that may rise in cost. Restaurant meals. Eating out is often affected by rising food and labor costs. Childcare. Services for taking care of children, like daycare. 3. Economic actions and reactions. Raise prices. Businesses increase the cost of goods and services. Cut costs. Companies reduce spending, often by limiting staff or production. Freeze wages. Employers keep salaries the same instead of giving raises. Raise interest rates. A tool used to control inflation and slow spending. Reduce spending. People or governments buy less to manage money. Save more. Choosing to put money away instead of spending it. Postpone purchases. Waiting to buy something until prices go down. Tighten budget. Reducing unnecessary expenses to save money. Adjust salary. Changing wages to keep up with inflation. Monitor CPI. Watching inflation data to track changes in costs. Delay investment. Waiting to invest until the market is more stable. Print money. When a government creates more currency, often leading to inflation. 4. People involved. Consumers. People who buy goods and services. Businesses. Companies that sell products or provide services. Economists. Experts who study the economy and predict trends. Bankers. People working in banks, dealing with money and loans. Government officials. Leaders who make policies and economic decisions. Policymakers. Those responsible for creating economic rules and strategies. Investors. People who put money into businesses or markets to make a profit. Central bank. the national institution that controls money supply and interest rates. Retirees, people who no longer work and rely on savings or pensions. Employees, workers who earn a salary. Shoppers, consumers actively buying goods in stores or online. Savers, people who regularly save money. Wage earners, people who earn money through jobs or labor. 5. Common descriptions. Rising, going up gradually or steadily. Soaring, increasing very quickly or dramatically. Unstable, changing rapidly and unpredictably. Drastic, extreme or severe change. Gradual, happening slowly over time. Temporary, not lasting long. Persistent, continuing over time and hard to stop. Manageable, under control and not too difficult to handle. Moderate, not too high or too low, somewhere in the middle. Out of control, becoming chaotic or unmanageable. Noticeable, easy to see or recognize. Predictable, expected or easy to guess based on trends. Declining, going down or becoming less. Historic, significant or important in history. Long-term, lasting for a long time or with effects over many years. Now that we've gone over essential vocabulary, let's see how these words are used in real-life sentences. These examples will help you understand how to use them naturally in conversation. 1. Key terms. Inflation has caused prices to go up significantly this year. This means the general cost of living has increased, and your money doesn't buy as much as before. The central bank raised interest rates to control inflation. This sentence shows how government institutions try to slow down inflation by making borrowing more expensive. 2. Goods and services affected. Groceries and gasoline are more expensive due to inflation. This highlights how basic needs like food and fuel are often the first to be affected when prices rise. My rent went up by 10% this year. Rent increases are a real example of how inflation impacts everyday life, especially for people living in cities. 3. Economic actions and reactions. Many people are cutting back on non-essential purchases. This shows how consumers respond to inflation by spending less on things they don't need right away. The company froze wages because of rising costs. A wage freeze is a common reaction businesses take to manage expenses during high inflation. 4. People involved. Consumers are struggling to keep up with the cost of living. This refers to everyday people trying to manage their budgets as prices go up. Economists are warning about possible stagflation. This shows how experts track and predict negative trends in the economy, combining inflation and slow growth. 5. Common descriptions. The inflation rate has been rising steadily for months. A steady rise means prices are going up gradually over time, not all at once. Gas prices soared after the global supply issue. Soared emphasizes a sudden and sharp increase, often seen in reaction to world events. Great job making it through today's lesson. Now you've learned key vocabulary related to inflation and how to use these words in real-life situations. Whether you're talking about rising prices, explaining the impact of inflation, or discussing economic actions, these phrases will help you sound more natural and confident in English. Keep reviewing the vocabulary and try using the example sentences when reading the news, writing, or chatting with friends about money matters. Okay, thanks for watching today's lesson on English Fab. I hope you found these English tips useful and feel more confident. Remember, practice makes perfect, so try using these phrases in your daily conversations. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more Fab English lessons. Until next time, keep practicing and stay Fab.